Okay, so this is gonna be a brief summary of a story that is and shit's occurred and how I found these things. Well, I started looking at conspiracies many years ago. Skip up ahead to the actual point of this. One day I heard about the conspiracies about Planet X and Nibiru. So I said to myself I was going to go and look for it. Because, what better way would there be than to go online and look at web cameras all across the world to see if, the effects at the time of the planet that were increasing and escalating, seemingly, extreme weather and blah, 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 to see if there might be a correlation or a reason. Well, around, let's see, I think it was March 23rd in 2017, I looked into web camera in Italy and I found it. I found all of them, all 7 objects. It was 11 something in the afternoon. I remember it clear as day, and this is before I had a screen recorder or even thought to them record the screen. Well, I see these things, and as I'm looking at them, I see multiple objects, and I'm watching them orbit around each other. And if I did or could or have thought about it, I'd have added the original photos to these collage photos I'm looking at right here in the background. These are just random shots of interesting skies that have occurred over the past few years, but I've been doing this for like 6.5 now. Now, at one point or another, I decided I was going to start recording these skies and getting as much information as I could to share with people. Well, not only that, but I also wanted to make a historical record to show people what the sky looked like if they just happened to find my phone or some miraculous way, or somehow the data was saved, so that way maybe people wouldn't forget of what happened here on this planet, at least not every time. Well, after a little while, I started getting enough of these photos and videos and stuff that I started showing people, and I started telling people, and people said I was crazy and this and that and didn't want to believe me, or outright was in denial. But in the Bible it says, there will be strange skies, and the planet will be the way it's getting. Basically, the poles start shifting, electromagnetic field collapse, blah 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 blah. Anyway, so I start taking all these photos and shit and videos, and I'm starting to see this thing on a daily basis in Palermo, Italy, at the Olivia del something Villaggio, or something like that, which is a hotel in Palermo, Italy. Well, from this hotel you could see it every single day, just about. So after several, about almost a year or so of seeing this thing on a daily basis, I decided I would put it on blast and I'd tell people on YouTube and Facebook and etc. etc. Well, not long after that, apparently at some point, according to my Google activity, which I didn't find until years after the fact, my phone had went to the Charlotte Department of Homeland Security's office in North Carolina, in Charlotte, on 2 separate occasions for 30 minutes at a time. Now, not only did that happen, but the webcam app that I was using was removed from the Play Store. It's still available online, but you couldn't get it on the Google Play Store no more. The laptop that had a bunch of backups of the original photos and stuff from the very, very early time period, it went missing, and I moved not too terribly long after that, and even in the full move, it never turned up. Mind you, I didn't have many, if any, real friends coming through at that time, so there's nobody who would have snatched it up, or questionable people, for that matter. Well, thankfully, I made a bunch of backup emails, and synced it to several different places, including giving copies to friends and family members, and I got so many backups. Hopefully, still within within certain realm of reach. Well, after all this occurred, I feel like what inevitably happened was, because I was putting this on blast and telling people about this thing that the government doesn't want people to know, is obviously hiding it, right? Well, because I decided to do that, they decided that I was a problem or a threat, so they do what they do with any threats. They observe and they intervene. Mostly covert. There is a contact, skin contact, chemical weapon or bioweapon that causes blood cancer. I'm assuming that those 2 occasions where my phone went to the Office of Homeland Security on 2 separate occasions for 25 minutes at a time. Mind you, it did show the path all the way there and back, and the time it took, the roads, everything. That, I guess, a phone that went missing at one point in time, I thought I'd lost for a little while, actually went there to be fucking become weaponized to use against me. Well, now it turns out I've got leukemia and lymphoma, and I got cancer all in my body now. And then it wasn't too long ago, a couple months, that apparently it's metastasized and started popping up in my bones. And I didn't know it at the time, so what I thought was a piece of tooth from a bad extraction like a year earlier prior turned out to be slivers of a bone tumor. So after I realized what it was, looking under a microscope and seeing that it was cancerous, I decided to try to remove it myself, because the whole COVID thing, you know, these days you go to the hospital and they're liable to try to kill you with intubator or put you on a breathing machine or give you some fucking God knows what drug, and then say you're positive for COVID and fucking use a shitty ass test to damn try to say it's positive, but then never really being positive, and then they put you on the floor with COVID and you get killed. Basically, that's where we're at with our society these days for some fucking reason. So hospitals weren't the best option in my mind, still aren't. Anyway, I fully believe that I sacrificed my life to bring people images like these, because not only are a lot of them some of the most beautiful images that you could ever see on the planet, but it's the truth. There's nothing on this earth that makes these kind of lights, these bright, vibrant, insane colors. You see what I mean? There's nothing on this earth that I know of that I've ever seen that has the sky looking like this on a pretty much daily basis worldwide. And people are so unaware that this is even occurring. So oblivious. They don't get to see all these beautiful skies. And it's beautiful, but fucking terrifying. We can kind of see them right there, the planets. I'm not the greatest shot in the world, but anyway, because of here's one we can kind of see an object too. Still, again, it's obscured by chemtrails, which is a pain in the ass because you miss a lot when you know the chemtrails are in the way. But when you scroll across web cameras that look like this right here, when the sun's setting, or like that right there before the sun even rises, or after it sets, hours after it sets, and like this after it sets, it makes you kind of question what exactly is going on, and am I really that crazy? Because to me, it looks like fire in the sky. To me, it looks like light coming off of objects, or being put off by objects in the distance. I mean, explain this to me. What the fuck is that? Or what's causing that red light and that the debris. Or that blue. Or that red to one side. And note, all these photos that I add and share are unedited, completely unedited. Exactly as I saw them, as I was taking them in person in real time. Nobody's edited nothing. Nobody's tricked me. I didn't get these from secondary sources. These are all taken by me. These are just some of them. I mean, it's ridiculous the amount of photos that I've got that really look just scary, spectacular. Like, I don't understand why I haven't found somebody who wants to buy a lot of these yet. I mean, I'm absolutely certain I could. Just because of the fucking quality of, and well, not necessarily the quality, but the fucking content in the skies. Like, these are naturally occurring skies in a very, very rare situation that occurs on this planet. Now, I don't know about you, but this has got to be valuable to somebody, if only for, the beauty of the viewing expectation. And see all these different gradations throughout the day of how it rose and set, how it looked, etc., etc. Anyway, now I'm dying and I don't have a lot of time, and neither does humanity for that matter, because this thing is going to come by pretty soon. And if anything, I hope that at least people will prepare, because that's what's important, is that we prepare ourselves. Because all these skies, all these signs in the heavens, look like a good enough fucking indicator to me that something's up, and that we should be preparing, if not physically, then at least spiritually.